going to do 5 of the snake postures. Call me Snake Qigong.
Actually, it all began with a gentleman named Bill Douglas, who's a Tai Chi instructor in 1999. He's in the Kansas City, Kansas area. He began World Tai Chi Day in that year with the idea that the practice of Tai Chi, which is often used for stress management and to benefit one's health, produces a positive energy. So if more people around the world practice this, especially in unison, the energy created by that practice could be a very positive influence on the world. So what he did, he began at the first day in 1999, he began at 10 a.m. at each location's time. It actually began in Japan, that was the first opening time, and worked his way around the globe. The first several years it was performed is simply called World Tai Chi Day, and he looked at it as this is going to benefit humanity as a state of energy and wellness and peace, and that was his original intent. Several years after it existed, a number of people who also practiced Qigong but did not practice Tai Chi said, we have so many similarities, can we expand this to World TaiChiQigong Day, and it did become that. Tai Chi Chuan is actually a style of Chinese Gong Fu. It means a grand ultimate fist. Most practitioners, particularly in the West, don't even know that they're practicing a martial art, and they're actually not really practicing it as a combative art. Typically they're practicing it as a Qigong. And Qigong's a term that's often misunderstood. It simply means cultivation of energy. So there are numerous types of Qigong practice. You can be doing a stationary Qigong practice using just breathing and posturing and meditation. You can be doing an active Qigong such as Tai Chi Chuan. Most Chinese martial art styles have a series of Qigong within them. Qigong was actually, according to legend, brought to the Shaolin Temple by Damo. Bodhidharma was his name.
Dramatically breathe into your stomach.
Excuse me.
You may be lucky and get the animal I saw run into that tunnel, come back out, like the snakes I saw last week.
Bodhidharma, the Chinese called Damo, who came to the Shaolin Temple, was actually a yogi. So he had experienced not only the martial arts of Persia and India, he also had yoga practice. And so when he went to the Shaolin Temple in Hunan Province, he introduced certain exercises combined with exercise being practiced in China to enhance the health of the monks so one could stay awake during long periods of meditation, as well as defend the temple and the surrounding area. So there is some correlation to yoga. Often some of the same points are used. It's typically the terms are going to be different. Yoga calls prana, Qigong calls chi. Ki in Japan and Korea, it's really all the same energy, means vital force. The chi is different than kundalini. That's a whole other energy that relates, but it's not what's typically cultivated in most Qigong. If someone is practicing spiritual Qigong, Kundalini by another name may be addressed as the Shen, and you're trying to bring that to what they call the thrusting meridian, which runs from the perineum to the Bahui, or the crown. So it's typically not the points that are acupunctured and used for moxie, busting, and such, and other Chinese healing arts.
Leave foot open, step out, move forward, turn in. Back, hands to the waist. Pull back. Part of this is about your mind and the intent you have. Only have as much tension as required for the shape. Pull back. And then open and step forward. All right. Step up. There you go. All right, so the second one, that's the first snake tip of this active moving snake system. Just about eight steps, but we're only going to do about 5. The next one, as we step out here, we come up, step out. You may feel a connection here, elbow to back implement. No, stay. I'm gonna switch with you guys. Come on. So all we're doing is which foot will we on? Sorry, which foot will we on? You step to the right. Okay. Do left. You can synchronize your breath out in the coil, in, open. One more step, maybe? How you feeling?
You mentioned healing. When these systems, for lack of a better term,
Okay.
when these systems are applied in a healing manner, is that, if you know, is that in any way connected or similar to what we know as, give me a second, I'll think of it, as Reiki or
Reiki.
pranic healing?
Pranic healing is very, very close. Reiki is different. Reiki basically channels from universe or spirit, divine consciousness, and allows that to direct where the body or the energies feel like it needs to go. Qigong, we actually direct consciously to a degree where the energy is going to go. If you have a sore shoulder, or if I'm working on a particular internal organ, I'm directing my qi or helping free your qi up in those specific areas. Your qi starts in the primary Dan Yin, the lower abdomen, and flows through the main channels and then down the meridians. And it should flow like a constant river without obstruction. If we have a pathogen or injury, even stress, which are the main 3 obstructions, and injure an elbow, then what's going to happen is the qi may pocket up here, become excess. So whether through needling with acupuncture or qigong, and he depletes some of the energy so it doesn't become rancid or stagnant in a sense. All pathogens as well as injuries tend to go in a cycle. So maybe several days, several weeks later, the same injury, if I'm going to treat this, I may have to do things to actually stimulate the qi flow. This is because the area that was dammed up may have kept qi and blood from flowing past that point. So I need to stimulate those points. So again, whether I'm using needle, moxibustion, qigong by itself, I'm going to be treating with the opposite intent that I did before. I'm trying to deplete excess energy, now I'm trying to stimulate flow. And the whole idea is to get everything to go in a nice balanced flow through the body to the points where you come closest to the surface and back to the Dan Yin, which is where I actually harness and expand and store our qi.
One more step. Okay. Check this one. Snake plays in the water. Not good. Forward. Pull back. Back. And step up and we'll close. We got some good energy going here, don't we? Definitely. Are you want to do something? You want
to show the reeling. I'll see if anybody else wants to, and I'll show some training.
Okay. This is silky. It's not silky. Right? I call it George, right? Because this is what George used to like to do. Right? This is one of his throws. And you doing Tai Chi, you'll probably know it, man. Or something similar. You know you got the right spot when you feel it in your hand. So they come to the left. If you go to your and as we pull and separate, you'll be able to feel it in your hands. Kind of open up your fingers. Not straight, not bent. And really turn your waist into it. Pull it from the ground, pull it from the sky. switch. So what's going to happen is the left hand will come across, right hand on top. And goes out of the angle, and this is up over there. One more time. Thing.
Thank you. Any of you guys have a Tai Chi thing now for you? I think we should bring. You guys want to show?
Are we gonna do one Qigong each side?
Sure.
Okay, so this exercise, if you have a bad back, you need a little careful with it. You don't have to bend as much. Fairly simple movement. It's two parts to it. First part is extend, open all your joints. Elbows go out, and if you want, you could touch your occiput, but your hands are around your occiput area. Now you're going to fold and bend. Bring your hands over the top, crown, about your mouth area.
Relax. Let everything sink in that.
So open the joints, open the joints, open the joints. Open the rib cage. Now we're closing, integrating. Elbows flare out. Hands are about lip level.
Let everything go into earth. And crown raise. Everything sinks.
It's about to sinking.
And rising.
So that's the first half of the exercise. Second half is let your arms spiral and turn, and you're going to make a fist. Not a real hard punch yet. Reasonably firm fist. You got bend again.
And then relax. And everything sinks.
physical. Inhale if you can, all the way up. Open the joints. Start exhaling slowly. And back down. You can break that breath up. It's pretty difficult to do it all. Inhale, exhale, all the way down. So you can just say inhale, inhale, and then exhale, exhale. Inhale again. Exhale down. That's possible. Really breaking the breath up. You don't want to force the breath. You don't want to hold the breath. You want to be continuous and as soft as possible. We're doing kind of a flexion and extension of the spine. And we're kind of creating a C curve, and we're just standing up. It's not an aggressive movement, it's just nice, rhythmic, watery movement. Might be going a little bit fast, a little bit slow for you. Just find your own rhythm. Have a continuous, smooth movement. And stretch back up. And stretch back up. Right, checking all the joints. Closing, integrating, prevention, expanding, expanding. Gather up the ball, lower dantian, middle dantian, upper dantian, whichever one you like. Middle dantian is usually a good one. Look out in the distance, comfortable distance. Keeping your vision open as well as looking out so you can see a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit down, a little bit up. Relax your eyeballs. Let everything sink. Let the crown rise. Come out of this at your own pace if you feel like you've had enough. Slow along with slowly.
left knee. Slowly take it down.
One simple exercise.
Anybody else have one they wanted to show?
I'll share one real quick. Thank you. I'm going to do a simple two-family qigong called Living Buddha Pose to Heaven. It's for the upper and lower spine. The basic arm movements are real simple. Basically just cross your arms, put your hands on your shoulders. You raise your elbows and you let your hands come out. Keep your elbows bent, pointing down. And slowly bring them back down, and then they cross over here. Now the leg movements are even more simple. Slowly just go down, and then up. Those are the physical movements. And here's the difficult part, the internal aspect of this qigong. What we want to do is when we breathe in, we want to gently clench the anus so that it expands the entire core. You feel your back opening up, your lower back opening up, your sides opening up. And so when we do the movements, we're going to breathe out, and hands come up, and then about as we're parallel with the ground, we're going to clench the anus and breathe in and gently bend the spine a little bit. Breathe out. Just gently look up, and then breathe in and down. Yeah. When you're moving your arms and you're back here, you should feel your scapula come closer together. You don't want to be tense, but you should feel your scapula come together. And then as you come out here, you should move from your shoulders, feel your scapula open up. And then right about here, they start to close again. And breathing in. Breathing out. Feel your scapula moving back and forth. And one more time. Thank you.
Anybody else have one they wanted to show?
Sure.
Yes.
This is a warm-up, about 10 simple exercises from Avion. But I'm going to call it the IRS technique. And the way it works is everybody just swing your arms. And then move one arm back and one front. But this is too much work. So if this is too much work, I'm just going to use this one. Move the torso and let the arms just flop. And when it flops, all the time with the arm slide and just come to this position of holding the ball. And let it move, stop by itself. And you notice that constant moving from one side to the other. At this point, start fighting yourself. And then start breathing in and out. So you enter the dragon, you enter the zone. Breathing in and out. And when you no longer move your arms, when your breath moves your arms by itself, then you start entering the zone. some movement before we start. You place the heel and you point the heel to the left side. After you point that direction, you just transfer the weight to the front foot. All the weight is in the front, as in here. Now you can turn around without any injury to your left knee. Okay? So let's try it again. Heel, transfer, point. Don't transfer anything yet. Now you transfer the weight. Now you got insubstantial. You can turn this way, any way you want. You can even do a double kick. Because you're ready to do it. With the other foot, heel, point as far as you can, transfer the weight. Now you're very, very light on this foot, you can turn anywhere you want. Okay? So the story goes this way. We were here, right? Okay? You look at yourself, you look at your basically tax forms here, alright? And then move the right foot back, and then you say, you push back, feel the scapula here, and release gently. Bring it back, release it a little more, and pull back here again, and push, stretch out, right? From this goes up, stretch up, stretch down, switch, stretch down, stretch up. This goes down. Now you take a big bubble, you inflate the bubble up and back. Transfer the weight back, transfer the weight front, transfer the weight back. At this point you look at the left side, again turn more than this. So now you turn the toe to the right, point the toe, transfer the weight, and see how far you can go on the right side. But you can't go any farther than that. So now you do the backward walk around the circle, transferring weight around your circle until you come back to your center, and this arm continues to move up and transfers weight. You feel the weight here on this arm. You go up, transfer the weight here. Both arms are too heavy, you let it go. Go to the top, go around, and this is where the tiger returns back to the mountain. Now let's do it with the other foot, the left foot. So you go ahead and step back and you clear your desk or tax forms. You say, oh, let's clear the desk. All your taxes go down on the floor, your receipts, everything there. And you say, oops, what am I gonna do with this stuff down here? I need help. Somebody pull me up, but this is dragging me down here. You switch, and this pulls you up, and you say, what am I gonna deal with this mess? And all of a sudden you say, I need some space here, some shield from those tacks. And back here, you got a problem here. You're thinking about it, and you got a problem here. But then you look to the right. Any help there? No. You turn to the left, you point the toe, transfer all the way, and you say, I'm going to be looking for a good CPA now, I can't do this. So you walk around your circle. You walk around your circle. And then you found some good help here. And you realize that not every accountant is as good. The good and the bad, you hold it here, but you gotta let it go. Because ultimately, you gotta return. There's more important things than your taxes. Return back. Okay?
Thank you. Well, 7 what they wanted for sure.
What, Jason? You want to do one hard set?
Yeah.
When did you first learn about martial arts?
Oh, I had to have been around the age of 6. Me and my stepdad were watching, what they call it, Kung Fu theater or black belt theater on TV, and ever since then it was just took me away. I was like, that's something I want to do with the rest of my life. I know it's funny at 6 saying that, but and then we moved to New York City, and he got me into Taekwondo. Got my first degree black belt when I was about 15, and then I started doing Kung Fu, Dragon style, in Chinatown, and also at the same time I started doing Wing Chun and Yang style Tai Chi. And around 1997 I moved back to St. Louis, and had studied a little jiu-jitsu under Mel Brown in Columbia, Missouri, and that was a nice eye-opener to a whole different world of martial arts, you know, and it helped me look at Kung Fu differently through a new filter, and started seeing, okay, I need to make a few adjustments in my own personal style of Wing Chun and Dragon style to make it more practical in a self-defense, street fighting aspects to it, and it was just from there I studied a little Muay Thai. Wound up getting a 5th degree black belt in Ishinru, and I did a little bit of MMA, but I just picked up all the escapes because I didn't want to try to switch from being a striker to a grappler, so I was just like, just give me the basic escapes from certain holds. Let me get back on my feet. So started doing that, and that was been nothing but fun for me ever since then. And I've been doing.
Okay. So you were how old when you actually started?
I started at the age of 10 with Taekwondo, and then when I was 15, I got my black belt, 1st degree, and then went right into doing Kung Fu, and it was right on 16 Mott Street, you know, July 23rd, 1989. Never forget that day. And the first time I ever went up there, it's like, yep, this is exactly what I want to do. For the rest of my life is just be a Kung Fu master. And when I was going through high school, I was just like, okay, well, let me just get enough credit so I can graduate, and now I could devote all my time to Kung Fu, you know?
Okay. You started fairly young.
Yeah.
As objectively as you can, what do you think martial arts has given your life that your life might otherwise not have without martial arts?
Focus. Without a doubt, focus. Because I wasn't really into anything else. I wasn't really into sports or just about I wasn't really much into anything else. So it was the only thing that really grabbed my attention, held it. And then, video games, but it was all martial art video games, fighting games. And so it was just, my whole life was just martial arts, because I didn't really have much of interest in anything else. Over the past maybe 10, 15 years, I probably gotten into cryptozoology, which I think it's interesting, along with, because a lot of stuff in Tibet, and since Tibetan had their own style of Kung Fu, which I always thought was interesting, and that kind of captured my attention, why I kind of went into the cryptozoology stuff, which is fun. But now I'm still doing Wing Chun, Dragon style, and Iron Palm, which is another really different aspect I love about the Kung Fu and the philosophy behind it all. You know, why they just don't do martial arts and just go around beating people up for, the mug people, just to be mean. There's whole kind of philosophy and a religious aspects to it that you're not supposed to use it for this, this, and this, which has helped me a lot, It always got me this, like, well, should I be doing this, this, and this? Probably not, so I'm not going to do it, like, I drink every once in a while, but as far as drinking, nah,
So the training that you got from the martial arts, the various disciplines, helped you learn how to think?
Yeah, it's like it gotta help me try to think logically, Okay, if I do this, what kind of outcome is it gonna, so I try to think things out, before because, for every action there's a positive or negative reaction to it, so it got me to think a lot more on, okay, if I do this, this, and this could happen, so, it kept me from getting into trouble, and it's like, if I do this, I could get arrested, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's not do that then, let's not go there with that. But sometimes, when you're in your late teens, early 20s, you do goofy stuff, later on you're like, what did I do that for, I could almost kick myself in the pants for that one, for some stuff, but, like I said, it just helped me through navigate my life in a lot of ways, especially when it came to conflict, when to kind of wrangle back your urge to want to punch somebody for being a jerk, you're kind of like, oh, well, I'm going to let that one go and pick your battles, But there's been times I'm like, you know what, somebody be picking on me. I'm like, okay, well, if you really want to take it to that route, let's go somewhere where nobody else sees it, just me and you. And usually that right there just squashed it, because I didn't have to get violent, nobody had to get physical, so nice way of neutralizing that. Which,
Have you, in your time, had to use it for self-defense? You were in a position, they were not going to let you out of it?
Yeah, back when I was like 96, I think it was, my sister was dating this guy, and there was just, back in New York, there was this trend where somebody be driving that's ahead of you will step on their brakes real quick, and then you accidentally bump them from behind, and they try to extort money from you. And this guy followed my sister and her boyfriend at the time to the house, and this guy really just got on my nerves, and lo and behold, we got into it, and it was a interesting confrontation. It taught me a lot, and where I had to kind of learn how to do break falls, and because the guy did some kind of like a tackle on me, and because I think he used to play football, from what I take from it, but landed on the ground, dislocated my right shoulder. But after that, I was like, okay, I need to work on defending against a tackle and how to do break falls, so I don't get injured again. Because trying to grapple on concrete, it's like trying to grapple on a cheese grater. It's just not a lot of fun. I got up the next morning, I'm like, where did I get this scrape from? I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that doesn't feel good. I'm not doing that again. And so it kind of opened my eyes to what I need to fix in my own personal arsenal of techniques, what I need to, do. Because I guess everybody that trained martial arts in the 80s and somewhat in the early 90s was everybody got into this, my style is the only style around that's worth a darn. And unfortunately, I got into that, you know, and then that's when after the first fight, I was like, well, all right, well, second real street fight I had to start looking at different options, you know, because it made me look at what I was doing. Okay, it's good at this, this, and this, but it just kind of lacks in other stuff, you know. So this is a hard style Qigong from Southern Dragon style. Keep together. Hands up. Here. Step up. Left. And in. Yeah, after you do that a few times, you'll start getting a rush. Pull it apart, blasting it out, and you could put some wrist weights, the weighted gloves, and kind of give you physical resistance on it. So, and over here, help you get explosive energy. And also more of an Okinawan type of Qigong watch where Sanchen condition karate. I have to do both Dragon Style and the Sanchen. And that's the basic position, helps when you're in a fighting confrontation, so like this in the gut, you're able to take a, not that it's trying to stop the pain, but it gets the wind knocked out of you when you're fighting. Or you get hit in the back, helps you not throw you off your game. That's why I like those Qigong. I feel like it really helps build up strength, tenacity, focus, and for me it helps when I'm in a situation to drive forward, strength, not so much physical strength, the chi, you go from doing the hard chi and the tension, that helps you focus, become more of like a tiger. You're not just slapping, panicking. It helps you deliver faster punches, take punishment. And that's basically just the end of myself. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'll do a quick train.
First was the drawing of the chi, then we call an empty stance. Not when you apply as a horse riding stance, about shoulder width, knees slightly bent, shoulders relaxed. The tongue actually goes against the roof of the mouth right behind the front dental palate. As I'm raising the hands and doing an inhalation, actually drawing the chi from the center. At this point here, I'm going to turn it to an exhalation. And stretch the spinal cord, stretch the limbs. Here's an inhalation as I'm actually gathering the water.
Have you used personally Qigong to work on healing somebody?
Considerably. I'm licensed acupuncturist, but I probably utilize the Qigong as much as I do the needles and the moxibustion. Even if I'm doing needling, I'm typically consciously sending Qi in and somehow trying to harmonize their Qi as I'm doing that. Sometimes I do that just with the hands or with the pressure. We call it Jin Dao, which is point pressing. Sometimes we do that with the different types of the Chinese massage, like Tui Nan and An Mo. I also do moxibustion, which is related to that. So, yeah, almost any time I'm doing some type of an energy-related healing, Qigong is involved. I've, at times, especially I haven't got the other tools accessible, used just Qigong. And I've had a degree of success with that, particularly for acute injuries.
I know it's going to be probably very individualistic, depending on the practitioner and depending on, I almost said the victim, depending on the patient. When you're applying these energies, what do you feel, energy-wise? What do you feel?
I've been doing it for a long time, so I'll typically feel a heat and or tingling sensation emanating through the palm or the fingertips. And I typically can feel somewhat of an energy field on people. Now, my personal theory on this, I'm a big fan of quantum physics, is that as some things aren't readily available to our other senses, the conscious mind will make them available so that the brain can relate them and utilize that information. So even practitioners may sense that energy in a different way. It doesn't mean that they're getting a false reading or it's their imagination. Simply their particular perception of what they're feeling is chi or seeing is chi can be different than mine. Most people I've worked with on developing Qigong will feel it normally as a heat or a tingling sensation. Some people felt it as cold. Some people actually see colors. That's not unusual at all. It simply depends how your consciousness is going to put it to the brain to become conscious on this physical level.
Will the patient that you're working with Qigong energies, what will they feel?
Most of them will say they either feel a heat, again, or a tingling sensation. That seems to be the most common. Some have felt it in other means. I have had a case or two, I'm doing Qigong and not even physically touching the body. I'm within an inch or two above the body, and people actually feel a tickling sensation. So that's rare, but that has happened as well. So again, it's kind of a personal result according to your particularly conscious perception.
So everybody, it would be good for everybody to at least experience Qigong, if not practice it.
Oh, definitely. There's nothing detrimental to Qigong practice. You can take a couple basic Qigong exercises and enhance your health and your state of relaxation. It's great for stress management and other related things. So whether you get into it rather deep or whether you just practice a couple basic exercises a couple of days a week, it always should have some type of a positive effect. I've never known anyone to have anything negative from practicing Qigong.
Can the same be said about Tai Chi?
In my opinion, right, Tai Chi, again, when it's practiced in the West, is typically practiced as a Qigong, although it's sometimes labeled different as it is an actual martial art. Qigong is not. If you're practicing something movement-wise and focus-wise with the goal of harnessing your healing energy, your vital energy force, that would categorize it as a Qigong. And so Tai Chi has been shown to be beneficial. They've actually had people have notable healing from disease as well as improve their mobility from injury. I, at one time, back in the late 80s, taught a senior citizens Tai Chi program in a community center. And when I had people, the first class would come in walkers and canes. 3-4 weeks later, those with walkers were often able to go down to a cane, and some of those with canes were able to set them aside. And that wasn't because of me, that's because of their work and their focus on the Tai Chi. It works on balance and harmonizing the energy and getting rid of the stressors in the body. It has been notably successful for inflammation and related things. So sure, Tai Chi, Qigong, any martial practice that utilize those would, in my opinion, be healthy for anybody who would take the time to use them.
First is drawing up the chi, even we call an entry stance, not meaning as wide as a horse riding stance, about shoulder width, knees slightly bent, shoulders relaxed. The tongue actually goes against the roof of the mouth right behind the front dental palate. As I'm raising the hands and doing an inhalation, actually drawing the chi from the center. At this point here, I'm going to turn it to an exhalation. And stretch the spinal cord, stretch the limbs. Here's an inhalation as I'm actually gathering the water. And I keep, again, I'm moving the jaw to chi from there. Well, then we have this frame. This one's going to start here as I'm drawing up and bringing both hands up in one-legged posture. I'm stepping down, basically a bow and arrow stance. This hand draws up, this hand goes down, like a yin yang. I want to be sending and receiving. I'm going to step to a heart, hands come up, that's flat down. Here. As you're moving away from the body, this is an exhalation, and actually pulling in to inhale. This is basically focus on the primary down again. I want to get the chi going with all heavenly cycles. Do it down to the cranium, up to the ground, down to the ground. This thing clears the swing. So this one goes to one leg. Down. Those can be done at a slow pace. 30-second videos are done quickly. Comes from the new family training method. I'm going to show one of the basic ones. This is draw the bow, shoot the hawk. This one is dynamic tension. I'm stepping to the heart stance. And I'm doing that, bring the hands up here. So it's just like I'm gathering the water, gathering the chi. At this point, one hand is going to extend out with a single finger pointing upward. This hand draws back. I'm bringing the elbow pretty much horizontal.
That's going to be done with an attention. Let the limb stretch, let the spine stretch. Release the arrow and move. On up to the opposite side. Inhalation, exhale. Stretch the joints. And release it. I want to thank everybody for participating.